Hey guys, John Sugar here. Got Lambo Luke. So we are, I guess this is Tuesday. We have spent quite a bit of time over the weekend and yesterday talking with support, talking with our folks there, and we just realized that a lot of the questions, no matter how good the videos were, there were a lot of questions. It seems like that either people didn't see the videos and get the answers in there, or they just weren't answered and they had a question. And so what we wanted to do was just take a few minutes. We basically culled it down to, a small set of questions that seem to be common. And we wanted to answer those around Retargeting Cloud. And the reason for that is that a lot of those questions would prevent someone from making a decision whether this was the right time for them to be involved. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to answer the questions, and this is your opportunity to get into Retargeting Cloud. We did shut the doors down. We weren't planning on opening them, but after seeing how many questions we had and some of them that we just quite honestly just did not address, not because we didn't want to, but we just didn't think about it, that we wanted to give you another 24 hours or so after having your answer so you can make a decision. So here's the deal. There's a link on the screen underneath our name. It's rtcjoin.com/backdoor. That's going to be available once that for the next 24 hours or so. Once we're done, then that should go away. But if you see the order form, there when you go, that means that it's open, and you got 24 hours to make up your mind. So we're going to run through these real quick. Luke's got the list.
Yep.
And so Luke, I'm gonna let you go through them and let's knock them out.
All right, cool. Okay, guys. So like John said, we got try to compile a lot of the common questions. Hopefully this takes care of a lot of you guys' concerns or questions or wants or needs, whatever it may be. So I did answer this one before, but this is, will this work for, actually tell you what, let's talk about that in a minute. Let's bounce over to this one. This is a good one to lead off with. The first one is, how is Retargeting Cloud better than Facebook? Now that question probably comes from one of the customer interviews we had. Guys, well, I think a couple of them maybe even mentioned how it's clearly better targeting than Facebook. John and I have mentioned that before. We thought, based on knowing how it works, that that might be pretty clear, but obviously some people are kind of wondering, okay, exactly how is it better than Facebook? So let me just kind of answer that. I'll throw it John's way too here, and he can chime in on his thoughts. But here my thought on this. So the reason this is way better than Facebook, let's just take a specific example, and that'll probably illustrate it better than anything. Let's say you've got an affiliate offer, or maybe you're driving leads for a local business. Let's say a mortgage offer. Okay, so you're getting paid for mortgage leads, whether it's an affiliate offer, or you're selling them to a local mortgage company, or you're selling them nationally, whatever it is, you're trying to drive leads for people looking to get a mortgage. Okay, or maybe it's refinance, whatever. How would you target that on Facebook? Right? Think about that for a second. How would you target that? It's pretty tough, right? Nearly impossible. The reason is you don't know if a person is, what are you going to do? Like target a Facebook group for people who like houses? That's not going to be targeted. How are you going to figure that out? You can't target a mortgage professionals group. They're not looking for that, right? They're just happen to work in the industry. So you can't use their job or their name or groups that they like. None of that works. So how are you going to do it? Well, let's think about how you would do it in Retargeting Cloud. Really simply, because you can target down to specific keywords. People that are wanting a mortgage would be typing in things like mortgage for my house, how much mortgage can I afford, mortgage, possibly mortgage calculator, get a mortgage, home loans, home loan quotes, and you could go on forever. People that are searching for those things obviously are interested in a mortgage. Well, guess what? With Retargeting Cloud, you can target based on that, but even better, you can also target down to the page level. So if somebody is visiting a website that's about mortgage quotes or getting mortgage quotes, then clearly that's a very targeted person. And in fact, we know that with Retargeting Cloud, when you start to build your list, you can focus on people that are doing that search and visiting those URLs across a very short time frame and very recent, like immediately over the past day, whatever it is, right? A few days. So you can be very, very targeted. You can't do that on Facebook. Okay, so even if you have something that you could semi-target in a group, I used an example like I'm a big basketball fan. So if you would maybe target looking to sell a t-shirt, maybe a college basketball t-shirt, sure, you could hit the groups that are interested in those particular teams. But the problem is you're not hitting people that are interested in those teams and looking for a t-shirt today. It's more interruption marketing. Hey, I know you're interested in this team. What about a t-shirt? Wouldn't it make a lot more sense if you could target people that were looking for a t-shirt right now? You can do that with Retargeting Cloud because you can go down to the URL level. You can hit just the people who are interested in a Kentucky basketball t-shirt, or just the people that are interested in a Duke basketball t-shirt, or whatever it is. So you can't do that on Facebook. All you could do would be the best you could do would be target Duke fans, right? Or whatever it is. So that's kind of my 2 cents. Take it on a scenario by scenario basis, and then it becomes very clear that this targeting is much better than anything Facebook can offer. So I don't know, John, do you have anything kind of to add to that?
Not really. I mean, I think you kind of nailed it. It's all about being real time, what people are looking for right now. Yeah. And specifically because, we are able to target to the URL level. Someone could be researching on a blog, or, reading an article on some magazine site, and you know exactly what they're interested in, wedding dresses or whatever, So, yeah, no, you nailed it.
Okay. Yeah. So again, there are certain things that Facebook can't target because it doesn't work for group targeting, or it's not their business, or that. Like if you want to target people based on their last name, Facebook's great. Not so good if you want to target people that are looking for a mortgage today. Okay. So there's a clear distinction there why I think Retargeting Cloud is much better, and many of our users agree. So the next question, let's go ahead and go back to the one I kind of started first. This is the one that we get by far more often than any other question, because for whatever reason, people always think that their particular situation is different. So the question is, will this work for, and then you can insert whatever they said here. Will this work for my product? Will this work for my business? Will this work for my service that I'm providing? Whatever it is, right? They just insert something. Will this work for X? The answer is yes. It's as targeted as you can get, as we just talked about. It's a massive amount of traffic. It's super cheap. So if any kind of paid traffic will work for you at all, then this will work. So I don't care what you're doing. If you're using it for yourself, for your own business, product, service, if you're an affiliate, if you're doing network marketing, if you want to sell leads to local businesses, if you want to drive traffic for local businesses, national businesses, it's going to work for anything. Okay, so will this work for X? The answer is yes. We haven't come across anything yet where it wouldn't work. So the next kind of question there is, will it work internationally? And of course, the answer is yes, because we have like we mentioned, over 241 countries and territories. We're pretty much everywhere, and nearly any language. You can use this to target anything you want internationally. So that's not a problem. So kind of that's one big question. Will this work for X, and will this work everywhere? So the two answers are yes. Okay. So let's do this. This is a good one for you, John. How are we able to offer this top tier traffic so cheap? I think maybe they're a little skeptical about how cheap the traffic is, thinking maybe it's junk traffic or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. So number one, it's the same traffic as if you were on any other RTB. If you're not familiar with that, real-time bidding network, we've mentioned a few, Site Scout, tons of them. Google, because our traffic, one of our exchanges is Google, so it's the same traffic that you could go to Google and get on their content network and on their ad exchange. So same traffic. Why is it cheaper? How are we able to get it cheaper? So we have taken the approach of a different kind of business model, is really what it boils down to. Most other places are doing a markup on the traffic itself. Not only that, but there's a lot more hands in the cookie jar along the way. So, and unfortunately, I don't have the graphic here, but I can show you, there's a lot of, from the advertiser down to the actual publisher website, there's a lot of middlemen in between. And we've been able, through technology, to eliminate a good bit of the middlemen. So number one, that's partly how we're able to lower the cost, because we've gotten rid of a lot of the people involved that would normally take a little piece of the budget. Now, second though, is let's just talk about the markup. That's how most traffic platforms make their money. What we decided to do was create basically a traffic club, if you will. So think of the model as like Costco or Sam's Club, where you have a paid membership, and that paid membership allows you access to lower costs products and services. And in this case, our product and service is online traffic. So what we do is we pretty much eliminate most of the margin on the traffic, and instead you just pay a monthly fee for access to the platform to do that. And this saves you a tremendous amount of money as you scale up your advertising, because that lower margin on the traffic, it starts going back to your pocket, and that helps you to advertise more and things like that. So it's the same traffic as everybody else has, from an RTV standpoint. This is not any kind of pop-up traffic or anything like that. It's simply the same banner ad traffic. We're bidding for it. You're bidding for it. We just eliminate a lot of the margins that other places are charging you, because we're going to go after a membership model versus, so you get the benefit.
That's awesome. I mean, I can't even really add much to that other than that. That's a great analogy as far as Sam's Club and Costco go. Also, you have to remember the part of the reason the system works so well is because of the way retargeting works inherently in the system. And that is, you're able to follow someone around. As you guys know, when they see your ad, part of the reason we can do it so much cheaper is your retargeting list is going to be way bigger, because we are placing that pixel based on an impression instead of someone having to click on your ad and visit. So you're getting a much larger audience. But on top of that much larger audience, now you're following those people around, as we lovingly call it, banner stalking. I think John coined that term, which was awesome. But we can follow them around. And what's beautiful about that is a lot of the places they're going to land, that website has a very low per impression traffic charge. So like we talked about, a plastic surgeon, the old school way, if you're just focusing on sites that have to do with plastic surgery, those impressions and clicks are going to be expensive. But if you're following the person around and they happen to land on a kitty cat website, and you can still serve them that plastic surgery ad because you've got them tagged, they're interested in plastic surgery. But obviously that kitty cat website is probably going to be cheaper to advertise on a per impression basis than a plastic surgery website. So that's another reason why this traffic is so much cheaper. So as John mentioned, the model itself that we've taken, the fact that you can get everybody added to a retargeting list that just sees your ad, they don't have to visit your site, and because of the way retargeting works in and of itself, following those people around, you're getting cheaper clicks and views because of they're visiting cheaper websites for that advertising. Anyway, so hopefully that was clear. All right, so I'm just marking these off here as we go. All right, so these all kind of run together. So there's kind of three questions. I'm going to put them all together, and we'll kind of answer them as one big issue. Let me do this so it's not so dark in here. All right. So the first thing is, can I target based on geolocation? The quick answer is yes. We'll talk about that in a second. What are the basic steps to actually start a campaign in Retargeting Cloud? Kind of what does that look like? And then another question that was related, we had a lot of people say, hey, can you tell me how you would use Retargeting Cloud for this particular industry or for this type of lead or this type of an offer? So we can kind of answer all of those things at once by running through a scenario. We'll pick something, maybe real estate agent or roofer or whatever, and then we'll go through the step-by-step process. And obviously, if they're local, then we can talk about the geo-targeting. But here's kind of the way I like to explain it. You really have only two steps. The first step is you want to create a list, a retargeting list. And then the second step is you want to run ads to that list that you've created. So the idea is you want that list to be as targeted as possible, as you guys know. The more targeted that is, the better the ads that you run to that list are going to work. So there are kind of two steps then, two sub-steps to that first piece. And that's real simple. How do we get a targeted list of people that are interested in service or product? Two things, keywords and URLs. Okay, so the first thing you do is say, okay, for the people I'm trying to reach, what type of keywords are they typing in? So in this particular case, let's say it's a real estate agent. People will be looking for homes for sale in my state or region, real estate, possibly even real estate agent, right? Buyer's agent, whatever it may be. So any real estate term you can think of, there are tons of them you can come up with off the top of your head that people would be typing in that are looking for a house, okay? So that's the first thing. Now you've got a list of keywords that are people looking for a home might be typing in or looking for a real estate agent might be typing in, all right? Then the second piece of that is what URLs are these people visiting? What websites, what web pages, even specific pages, would these people be visiting? And you make a list of those. Okay, so now you've got a list of keywords and you've got a list of URLs. Then you come over to Retargeting Cloud, and this is where you start, right? You say, okay, let's create a new retargeting list. Retargeting Cloud is going to say, okay, what keywords and URLs do you want to target? Put in your two lists, people that are interested in home keywords, people that are interested in homes or real estate agent URLs. Press generate list. Retargeting Cloud is going to go to work and build a list. What it's basically doing is serving ads based on those keywords and those URLs, and it's going to place retargeting pixels for anybody that sees those ads. So if your keywords are real targeted and your URLs are real targeted, you're only going to get a list of people that are relevant for what a real estate agent would be looking for. So someone who's looking for a house or a real estate agent. Simple as that. So anyway, that's step one. Put in your keywords and your URLs. Boom, create your list. Once that list is created, now the second step is, all right, I want to run image ads just to those people on my list. And so you just create a campaign. There are, of course, some specifics there. Upload your image ad, press the button, and your campaign rocks. Right, so that's the basic process. So again, if it's a roofer, it's the same process no matter what you're doing. What keywords for people looking for a roof, what would they type in? And what URLs, people looking for a roof, what would they visit? Right, and you put those in, generate your list. Once your list is built, you advertise only to those people on the list. That's kind of the process. Now, back to the geolocation thing, if you're looking to generate local leads or leads in a specific state or region or country, whatever it is, Retargeting Cloud has the capability to target your ads based on city, DMA region, zip code, etc. So you can narrow that down. So not only can you choose keywords that are geocentric, so like find a home in Georgia, find a home in Missouri, right? Obviously, that would immediately start to build a targeted list for that region. But also when you serve your ads, you can only serve ads in a specific geo region, city, state, DMA region, or city, zip code, DMA region, etc. Okay? So that's kind of the process and how you would geo-target for local type leads. I mean, anything you want to add there, John, to kind of how that process works?
No, I mean, you nailed it. I mean, it's super simple. Very, very easy to do.
Yep. Just basically two steps.
Yep.
Create your list and then run ads to that list. Really simple. This is going for John. How much traffic is available?
So overall, I think we've estimated about 250 billion impressions per day that you could bid on with all the feeds turned on. That includes mobile and video. So, right now, I would say we probably have about 80 billion. Once we turn on all the feeds here, it'll be about 250 billion. So more than you can afford.
That's billion with a B, as in
billion with a B. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. I think that pretty well knocks that question in the head. That's pretty crazy. All right. A couple of list questions here. These are all kind of one and the same, or at least they're going to have the same answer. So how many times can I market to my list? How long does the list last? Does the list expire? So the quick answers to that is you can market to your list as many times as you want. The list does not expire. How long does a list last? It lasts as long as that person has the tracking cookie in their browser. So you can run ads over and over and over and over. There is no end limit. Or at least we don't place an end limit on the pixel. Now, you can go in and manually kind of purge your list by dates. So if you want to stick to people who are really relevant, let's say people looking for a new car, they might not be still looking for a new car in 6 months. So you might not want to keep those people on your list for 6 months. You might say, okay, anybody that's over whatever it is, a month old, 2 months old, take them out. All right. So you can remove people from your list, but they don't opt out and they aren't removed from a list automatically. You do that manually if you choose to, if it makes sense in your particular niche or category. That being said, the way a person could be removed from your list as far as their actions are concerned is if they clear their cookies in their browser or something like that. Then, of course, you're going to lose that retargeting pixel. So that's kind of the answer to that. You can, as many times as you want, your list doesn't expire unless you want it to. And then this is a question for you, John. This is right along the lines. Again, it's another kind of couple list questions. What is my list? Because some people get confused. They think it's maybe it's email addresses or it's what, So what is the list and can they export it?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So currently, the list itself is a retargeting list, which basically consists of IP addresses and a few other identifying factors, which allows our system to let you run banner ads to the people on that list. Okay, so this is not, because a lot of there's confusion. There's all kinds of lists. There's to-do lists, there's retargeting lists, there's email lists. So yeah, you can get kind of confused, but this is a retargeting list which is specifically designed to allow you to run banner ads online to them. Now, there are other features that we're working on that we've shown about, we call it in the lab, and proving out and figuring out how to do it at large scale. So later on there, it may include some other pieces of information about that person rather than just being a sort of an IP address with some identifying information so that we can run the banner ads to it. But currently, you can't export it. You would not be able to, even export it to put it on some other platform. There's no way to cross collaborate among different traffic platforms. So this is a retargeting list that it will exist on Retargeting Cloud and allow you to run banner ads to them to drive traffic to whatever you choose to do.
Awesome. That's a great answer. So again, it's a retargeting list. You can't export it. It wouldn't be useful anywhere else. But like John said, in the lab, we do have what we're going to be calling data appending, and we're hoping to be able to append email address, and we actually are already doing this, testing it, email addresses, phone numbers, physical addresses, things like that. When that data is appended, I wouldn't count on still being able to export it for privacy reasons, but you will be able to utilize it in the platform and be able to contact those people and things like that. So we'll talk about that as it becomes available. But for right now, it's just a retargeting list, and there's no way to export that. So this is a good question, but it's the wrong one. So the question is, can I pick the sites I want my ad to appear on? And the answer to that is you actually don't want to do that. Your targeting was already done when you built your list. So you remember back in the beginning when we talked about the process, you build your list first, and then you only advertise to people on that list. The key to retargeting, part of the great benefit, is you actually want your ad to appear wherever that person goes. You want the user to be able to define what sites your ad appears on, not you. You've already done the targeting. You know you want that person. You don't care what sites the ad appears on. You just want to make sure it follows that person around. So you kind of let the person define what sites your ad appears on. That's the goal. And again, that causes higher click-through rates, cheaper traffic a lot of times, etc. So no, you can't pick the sites that your ad runs on, but you don't want to. You've already done your job of targeting and in that first step by targeting the people and not the website. So does that make sense, John, or you have anything?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, the reverse process, because of the retargeting capability, you primarily focus on the market and the person, and then just advertise to them wherever they are.
Beautiful. Okay, this is a John question. How do you know what size banner ad to use?
Yeah, so primarily, there's 4 sizes that Retargeting Cloud supports currently. And the reason that, again, we created Retargeting Cloud to be a simple platform to use. There are tons of, there's way more than 4 sizes that can run online. However, when we analyze the data, those 4 sizes really get you probably 85% of the traffic anyway. So there's really no reason to focus on anything outside those 4 sizes. And they're listed whenever you go to create an ad campaign. They're actually listed when you upload your creative. It only lets you pick from those 4 sizes. So, it's real simple to find that.
Awesome. Okay. This is, again, kind of a couple of these questions run together. I'll read the questions separately and then we'll kind of answer it together. But where does the traffic come from? Is this adware or CPV or whatever? And we kind of mentioned that when we talked about this being top tier traffic. It's the same traffic you would get on all the top tier ad networks. It's the exact same clicks. It's just that you're getting the traffic through us, right? So we're interfacing with all of those top tier networks. So that's exactly where it's coming from. So it's not adware traffic. It's not pop-up traffic. It's top tier, like John said, RTB traffic. Anything to add there, John?
No, I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, if you can get traffic on, you can buy banner ads somewhere on an exchange. I mean, that's the same traffic that we're getting. So,
okay, this is a good one. What stats are available and do I need tracking? So the stats that are available are just the typical traffic stats, impressions, clicks, etc. If you want beyond that, if you want conversion tracking or something else like that, we would recommend a tracking platform. Now, there are a couple of reasons we didn't build tracking into the system. For one, this is just a quick tip, especially for you affiliates out there. Typically, you don't want to give conversion statistics to the traffic platform. Can you think of why you may not want to do that? Well, you obviously be giving the person who has control of traffic information as to what ads they should be running to that traffic. So we didn't want to kind of fight the incentives there. We wanted to make sure that we didn't have, misalignment with those incentives. And then the other thing is there are great tracking platforms already out there. So let the tracking platform guys like Volume, CPV Lab, those guys, let them do the tracking, and then we'll focus on. We intentionally kept it separate because that's what we would want as affiliates or product owners. And quite honestly, that's already been done a million times, and great platforms already exist out there. So there's no reason for us to build that in. So here's one for you, John. How long does it take to build a list?
Yeah, so I mean, the process is this. You'll, put in your URLs and your keywords for your audience build. Then, just like anywhere else, there's a campaign approval process that happens kind of upstream. So even though you're not necessarily going to upload any ads to build your audience, we do that automatically behind the scenes, which are ads that have already been pre-approved, but they still have to be approved for that campaign. So usually 24, maybe 48 hours, and then your audience starts, to be built. The rate at which it builds is going to depend solely on how many unique visitors, because it is unique, not just impressions. How many unique visitors go to the sites that are being generated from your targets. And so, the rate at which that happens and the rate at which, we can win the impressions, like how competitive are other people, trying to get that traffic, and how much traffic is available for us to win. So, there's some factors that we can't control. It's really based on the targets that you choose. So it can happen very fast, like, literally within a few hours, or it could take days, and it kind of depends on the level of traffic of unique visitors that go to the sites that and the sites generate from the keywords that you've chosen.
Okay, awesome. I'll let you start this one out too, because you kind of already answered it before. What are the fees for the specifically the monthly fees? I think a couple of people asked, but kind of the whole thing. So maybe just a quick recap, because that pretty much answers that question, I think.
Yes. So the monthly fee is basically to be a member of sort of the discount, traffic club, quote unquote. We decided to do that business model versus, because think about this. If we had, let's just say what most other traffic platforms do, 100%, 80 to 100% markup on every impression. Well, that, from an advertiser standpoint, that really starts adding up quick. And so, do you want to spend your money paying us on the traffic, or would you rather just pay a flat fee to have access to the same traffic, but at a discounted rate? And we think that you would choose the first, because you're going to save a lot of money, by doing it that way as you scale your traffic. If all you're doing is just going to dabble, then this model wouldn't be for you. You would want to go somewhere else. But we're talking about people that either want to leverage the platform for their clients and be able to make a good, healthy margin and still save their clients money as an agency, or they have their own products and service and they want to scale over time with their paid traffic efforts, and they're looking for a great place to do that and save money. Then Retargeting Cloud is the choice for you for that, because we have chosen to do it on a membership, because there's already proven models out there. Costco, Sam's Club, those kind of places, the discount membership clubs. They work, and they work well. They save people money, and they still have healthy businesses, Costco, Sam's Club. And so we want to model that versus trying to make more money off of you as you scale your traffic. We think that there's just room in this world to give back a little bit, and we'd like to do it that way.
Awesome answer. So hopefully that clears up. I can kind of help answer this one. This one ties into that. We had a lot of people ask for, can I have a trial period, or why is there no guarantee or refund or whatever? It's real simple. It's because we are a traffic platform. This isn't an info product or a training course or whatever you may be accustomed to in the internet marketing world. That's not what this is, right? You're, again, like John said, it's more like a traffic club that you're paying for access to. And on top of that, once you start paying for traffic, we can't get that back from, you know, when we in turn pay Google for your traffic, we can't go to Google and get that back. It doesn't work that way. Just like you can't go to Google and buy traffic and then say, hey, can I have that back? So just that's the reason why the pricing model exists as it does, and that's why there are no refunds or a trial or anything like that. And also, look, we're not interested in having tire kickers. We already know this works. It's really simple. All we have to do is guarantee that we can deliver those targeted lists like we talk about, which obviously it works. I mean, it's just the software. That's how it works. And the traffic. And we already know that works. We're tapping in directly to the ad networks. And we've been doing this for a year. We've had beta testers on it for over 9 months. We've had et cetera, all those success stories. So we don't need people to try it out. That's already been done. And based on our model, that's why. So hopefully that answered that one. So here's kind of the final one, unless you can think of any more, John. But the final one is, we had a lot of people say, okay, I know I need to find, in order to build my list, I need those two things, right? I need keywords and URLs. How do I find those? Well, a couple of different ways, and there is more information and training available for the buyers. But basically, if I were going to tell you real quick how to do it, I would say, okay, let's start with keywords. First, you obviously have to know who you're trying to target, and you can come up with a lot of keywords on your own. And if it's somebody if you're trying to sell leads to a car dealership, you want to be using keywords for people that are searching for cars. Car for sale, specific cars for sale, you know, Ford F-150, Ford van, whatever it is, right? So that's easy. All of us can do that, okay? How do you find URLs? URLs kind of the same way. So again, let's maybe go back to the cars thing. Obviously, giant sites like Auto Trader and whatever, cars.com, those types of places. Now, those URLs you obviously want to target need to hopefully have advertising on them, because we can't place pixels unless we can place the ad, which means they need to have advertising. But if you put a URL in the system and we can't, then it just ignores it. Okay, so you don't have to check every single URL you put in. But so that's it. Keywords, if you want specific tools and ideas, for example, the keyword tool on Google, just Google keyword tool, keyword planner. You can go through that. It'll give you keyword suggestions. If you need URL suggestions, real simple, just take the keyword or one of the keywords and put it into Google. And the sites that are getting the most traffic that you probably want to target that are very relevant are obviously going to be the sites that are ranking in Google for those keywords. So you can grab those URLs. So Google Keyword Planner, use that, go back into the search engines, use your keywords and generate URLs that way, copy the URLs out of the, the top 20 or whatever for each search term, however you want to do that. So that's how you find keywords and URLs. But again, the more targeted those keywords are and the more targeted those URLs are, the better results you're going to get. Okay, because again, let's go to the insurance example. If you're just targeting people that are searching for the term insurance, maybe not so relevant if you're trying to generate auto insurance leads, because people typing in insurance might be looking for an insurance agent. They might be looking for health insurance, life insurance, home insurance, etc. That's not going to be relevant to auto. So the more targeted your keywords and the more targeted your URLs, the better your list is going to be, which means the higher ROI you're going to get, the better results you're going to get. So I don't know if you want to add anything on keywords and URLs, John, but.
I mean, no, other than they can also use, you mentioned the keyword tool, they can also use a tool called Display Planner as well.
Yes.
So if they want to do that,
Very good.
they can use that as well. So, that's it. I've got one more question too.
Yeah. I'm done. I marked them all off. So.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah, I've got one that I wrote down over here. Okay. Well, it's kind of two actually, but they sort of go hand in hand. The question is why should I buy now, and can I pause my monthly membership because there's a monthly fee associated with this, and what happens then? So let me address those real quick. They're just strictly buying questions. And number one, the reason you want to buy now is because this is absolutely the lowest it will ever be. And you're on our list if you're watching this, most likely. And we want to give you that opportunity to get in now at pretty much rock bottom price that it will ever be offered at. So which is also why we're doing this Q&A video, and hopefully answering, whatever questions you have, so that you can take advantage of it right now and save yourself a lot of money in the future. So to piggyback on that, a lot of people are like, well, can I buy now and I'm not really ready to use it? Can I get in and freeze my membership? And so, or what happens if I get sick and I need to freeze my membership? And can I do that? And so, obviously we have costs every month, so I'd love to say, yeah, you can just freeze it indefinitely. So what we've done is this: if you want to get in right now, and even if you're not planning on using it right now, but you want to lock in the savings, we will allow you to freeze your membership, up to 90 days. So no monthly fee if that's what you want, up to 90 days, and no cost. You can start it up after 90 days. All right. If you want to freeze it longer than that, then you have to just pay 1 month's, basically the equivalent of 1 month. So $297 if you're watching this, and we'll let you freeze it, for an additional three months. So you can basically come in now and get 6 months of just basically having the platform sort of frozen, and it only costs you 1 month's worth of fees. Okay. And so that's why, we want to get you involved with us right now, because at some point over the next 6 months, number one, we're going to have a lot more features, as far as from the marketing side. The price is going to be a lot higher. So you're just going to save yourself a lot of money. And even if you're not planning on using it right now, you could, like I said, wait up to 6 months really for just a 1 month's fee total in order to do that. So, but a lot of people have that question, and I know, and I get it. If you're not going to use it, you don't want to pay, the $297 every month, for just to sit there. So you would potentially wait, but the problem is you'll end up paying maybe more down the road, to where it would make sense just to go ahead and do it anyway. But because we want to make it available to our list at this opportunity, we've come up with a way for you to kind of freeze the membership if you're not planning on using it. Now, obviously, if that's the case, you can't sell it as an agency and get back in. As soon as you start it back up, then you're going to need to be on the monthly, fee and maintain that. But you can pause it up you can get in now and pause it up to 3 months for no charge. So that might help some of you make a decision to, that it's worth, and you think within 3 months you'll be able to use it. Then now is definitely the time to do that. Do you have anything you want to add to that, Luke?
No, the only thing I would say is, yeah, you can pause it, but when it's paused, obviously you're not going to be able to use it. So
right.
You
won't have access.
Yeah,
it's paused, but you won't have to pay that front end higher fee down the road.
Right.
And so ready to start using it, you can go live at the current rate.
Exactly. So. Exactly. Well, that was a great ad, John, because we have had that question. That's all I can think of right now. I've checked every answer off that we compiled, or every question off that we compiled. So
yeah, I think we're good. So
okay.
If you want, like I said, you got there's a video, this video on a page that you're watching. It's probably a countdown timer more than likely, showing you how long's left on this, and the URL is there, but it's rtcjoin.com/backdoor, just in case, and you can take advantage as long as that order page is up. And other than that, we will see you hopefully on the other side.
Okay, see you guys.
Take care. Bye.